Slamball Scrappers, an EGI special report from special correspondent me, Alan Resnick. Who says video games should be fun? Well, I guess the independent developer Firehose Games didn't get the memo, and they came up with a little game called Slamball Scrappers. Here it is. This is Slamball Scrappers.
Beautiful game. Alan, what are we looking at there? Tell me exactly what's going on.
This is I don't actually know.
Seeing a lot of lines. I'm seeing a lot of cubes. A lot of people. People. Are they people, Alan? Or are they machines?
I can't tell, but I'm gonna get into that a little. Well, there's both. That's a machine for sure. That's Slamball Scrapper.
Who's the scrapper?
We'll get there. Let me do my report. 2011's indie darling Slamball Scrappers was the first original IP from Firehose Games after their hit training simulator, the DARPA training simulator. They used to make training simulators for DARPA.
DARPA. What does that remind me of? Defense.
The department's Advanced Research Project
Agency.
They do research.
And DARPA was the man who's killed in the jail in the early in the opening hours of Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid, of course, for the PlayStation and PC, and later, if you want to say the GameCube, because of the remake known as Twin Snakes.
That's right, Robby. DARPA is a character in a game, and it's also a Defense Department's Advanced Research Projects Agency.
And he was killed by a device inside of his chest, Alan. Can you imagine that the government might actually be opening people up and putting fail-safe devices that give people heart attacks into their bodies if they get a job at DARPA?
Oh.
Really,
fact is stranger than fiction. Firehose Games knew that. Anyways, what is Slamball Scrappers, you ask? What is Slamball?
Quick question for you, Alan. Before we get into what it is and why we're talking about it, and this is going to be sort of pie in the sky, sort of just thinking about the process of opening up a body and putting in a fail-safe device that explodes when they do something that the DARPA people or maybe Liquid Snake, Revolver Ocelot. You following my train of thought here? How many people? The people over at Firehose Games, the creators of this wonderful independent puzzle, adventure, action, wild party fun, crazy scrapper game,
Slamball
Scrappers. Do you think that the DARPA people had the fail-safe devices placed into the employees of the people that worked on this game?
It's possible. I think we're getting mixed. I think our wires are crossing a little bit. Where I think you're talking about some sort of character in the Metal Gear games, and the simulator that the Firehose Games made was for the real-life government's DARPA agency. So, what is Slamball Scrappers, you ask? Well, it's part Tetris. It's part Tetris. It's part Smash Brothers, and it's part fun. And these are the pictures I have for fun.
That's a great picture for fun. That was me in high school when I dressed up as Cloud Strife. When I was, and that was me at the second E3 I went to back in I want to say 2004, 2005. There's me with a sword, not unlike the swords that one might find in games like Draken, Draconis, Cult of the Worm, or Evergrace. Another game that we might get into later in the show. I'm not going to promise anything, Alan, because we can't really promise anything these days, can we?
No, we don't like to make promises. But did you know that you're dressed up like a character in a new game, even though this is an old photo?
That was it. I was so excited because Final Fantasy VII was, of course, a game that I looked forward to when it came out, and it came out, and I was so excited, and I played it, and I had my dad and me. We got together and we sat in the backyard. And we built that crazy sword, the storm. What's the name of that sword, Alan?
I don't know, but there's a new Final Fantasy game with the same sword. Did you know that?
Just a wonderful childhood.
Anyways, Slamball Scrappers. In it, you choose between 3 different characters: Bomac, Slim.
Slim is what a wonderful name, Slim.
Slim, or
flattering, don't you think?
Or Penyen.
That sounds racist.
And then it's off to the races for Slam Vault Scrappers. So at the time of the release, GameSpot reviewed the game, and they said a short campaign and lack of online multiplayer hobble this ambitious puzzle adventure. Okay? Eurogamer said the constant need to multitask makes it feel like you're being persistently harangued by a hyperactive 4-year-old.
Oof.
And if that sounds like your idea of entertainment, then be my guest.
Sign me up, Alan. Slam Vault Scrappers sounds like a hell of a time. It maybe could have. I had something.
That was my special report.
Well, that's a wonderful special report.
Back to you, Robby.